Hello everyone, Big G here. Welcome to episode 4 of this series. This, I should say, is being recorded immediately after the last one. It's all still in the first sitting, which has had a lot of drama so far. Really enjoying it. I have set an alarm this time. I realised that I did record about the right time last time, so I'm just hoping that I can stick to a consistent schedule which doesn't leave me too exhausted. Right, okay, so I realised last time I wanted this person to wear tribal wear because, of course, they were naked. Now they're not. I don't know why I really care about them being naked or not, because actually, they, by virtue of not having a mood, don't care. But I suppose I want them to have a bit of protection in case we get attacked. I'm trying to think about what we should do defensively. I mentioned last time we're gonna focus mainly around here. It's gonna be a bit of an issue with our solar panels because we've already almost destroyed them. So I've been having a bit of a think myself about what I'm going to do about that. But yes, I would like to get some research started. Let's speed it up through the night, and I would like to get potentially some people elected as well. Playing with the leaders mod, which is also quite fun because much like the Cthulhu mod, um, you can get your leaders to give like an aura, which makes your people better. Which I think, particularly when we seem to be hanging about in one area at the moment, would be good. So we just know who's in charge. It's also good for storytelling purposes, I feel. Um, but I need to know who's in charge. You know, much like in Britain, we need to have a strong government which tells people what to do. Right. Okay. And I'm going to start an election. I think I can force an election to start through the enable elections. I thought I could, but through I thought I could through the dev console. Because obviously we need to know who's going to be in charge now. We haven't had an election, so there's no real point not doing this. Oh, I'm just pressing buttons. Help me. Force election. I think it's one of these things. Execute incident with. No, none of those things. I don't know. Election is what I'm looking for, or force leader election. There we go. Who's leader? Eckhart. That sort of makes sense. So she's our leader, which means that everyone else, when they're around her, should, you can see, gets a bonus. I think it's a carpenter bonus at the moment, which is a bonus to crafting, which is a bit of a shame because it would be quite nice to get a combat bonus, but obviously no one at the moment is can actually fight. So you can see here, she gets a construct fail chance, a construction speed bonus, all that kind of stuff. So that would be good, if quite situational. But there's no real reason not to have it at the moment. Obviously, as we get better colonists, there can be a bit of a competition for who is. Uh, it's a cool mod, that one. I quite enjoy it. I hope that there was a bit more depth to it. I think they might have been done by the same guy who did the Cthulhu mod, which where you get elect priests and stuff like that. And I think it would have been nice to have had a slightly more in-depth system, because if the Cthulhu mod sells it to you like you have something called cult-mindedness, if I put it to you like this, where supposedly if you're in the middle, you're just like a normal person, but if you're in either side of these two lines, I don't know if you can actually see my cursor or not. The lower line, the first section, is you're supposed to be anti-cult, but so you're supposedly supposed to fight people and not get on with people, like the agents did in the first episode, who support the cults, and the third one is obviously you are a cultist. And you try to recruit people to the cult and do things like sacrifices and stuff. In my experience, there's not much depth to it. Everyone just seems to become a cultist. And I think it'd be quite nice, much like the democratic system, where you have more mood problems for dealing with people who are not the leader or wanted to be leader. There's a bit of a consequence, and perhaps they even fight each other and stuff like that. But who knows? At the moment, I'm quite happy with the way it works. Everyone's just doing nothing. I've realised. I've set my people no work. I need. Can I make it a steel research bed? I don't like to use so much steel. But I mean, obviously, at the moment, I have no other resource. So, and the thing about mining steel as well is that it's finite. So once I've mined out all the steel here on the map, that's aluminium. then I will not have any more. I think that's steel. Yes, it is. Then I won't have any more until I can get a core driller, which was going to come quite a long way down the line, or some other form of trading anyway. Is there only one person assigned to mining? I don't understand why people wouldn't be assigned to mining, because again, it's not really a skill orientated activity. I mean, yes, you take longer, but there's not any real further chance to fail. And I think if you're not doing anything, then you might as well just come and help someone else so it comes quicker. Fab's on it at the moment. I'm feeling okay, actually. I think when Big G died, and it was just Aircart, I was really just counting down the hours until I thought we were all just gonna die horribly. But I think we're actually all right. I mean, we've got some power going. We've got some crops going. We've got some very shoddy defenses going. But yes, fundamentally, we're all right. I mean, as soon as you start to do research, that demonstrates that other things aren't pressing. So food and defense, I think, are the two most important things. But they are probably the only two real considerations, actually. I mean, at a later stage, there'll be production and whether we're producing enough things like refined resources and equipment and armor, stuff like that. And hauling, in particular, becomes a really big issue later on. But at the moment, we're obviously absolutely fine. I can get Cranley to wear this, which is going to be better than what she's wearing already. I just... I don't know how I feel about this one. Because the last one we had of these I turned down because they were just offering to join the colony. This one, she's being chased by people, and she's being chased by medieval retainers, who, as I say, I think are the most dangerous people. She is... We don't know anything about her. I'm going to say yes, because I think in this instance it's different to just being given a person, like I'm going to have to win them around. So it's Riesling. She started with some pretty good equipment. This is what I was saying about the medieval people. Yeah, they start with really good stuff. So she started actually with armor, superior armor, and a personal shield, and a battle axe. Oh, she is... Oh my god, she is... I'm very pleased that I took this person. She's good at crafting. She's okay at construction and growing. And she's really good at fighting. Oh, she is going to be very much an asset in this playthrough. I'm pleased I did accept her. Things that irritate me about those is I always like to feel like I win people. Like there's a bit of challenge to it, particularly in a playthrough like this where mood isn't a consideration. But obviously I'll have to fight off the people on her tail, so I don't feel too bad about it. Yeah, here we go. So medieval retainers. There's only 3 of them, and they seem to be lower tier as well, so that should be good. There seem to be definitely more distinct tiers to medieval retainers than other people armed with guns. You can tell from those who are armed, like equipped with wooden clubs and bows and spears, to those who are equipped with, say, sort of battle axes and swords and steel armor. I think a bit like in reality, like only knights would go into battle with that kind of equipment. I am going to get her to drop her personal shield and her melee weapon. As much as I do like melee situationally, as I've said before, in fact, I might even get you to wear it for now, because if you can't fight, you might as well have some protection from enemy bullets and stuff. As I said before, I think the priority is we're going to have to kill people at the moment. So here we go. They're coming in. We're fighting off. So the guy with the spear, I think, is probably the most dangerous, because if they can get up, they can really disrupt my ranged weapons. But I think she's going to go down. The bows aren't particularly accurate, I find, although they are obviously dangerous, just not at to the same extent. Okay, we've been hit. Eckart's got a cut. We seem to be doing okay though. I might try and focus down this guy here, because I... Oh shite! I didn't expect that to happen. What happened? Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh, all the combat so far doesn't seem to be going great. I'm gonna have to fall back. Why haven't you got your shield on? Yes, thank you. I was saying I wasn't worried about them too much. Must say... Oh no, I need that gun really badly. Kill him! Come on, come on. Don't let him get away with that gun. I really want it. Oh, combat-wise, I'm really not doing great here, you know. Get after him. Yeah, that's a shame. It would have been quite nice to have kept that weapon. Because obviously it's a machine gun. As I was saying earlier, we will actually need fire. We will absolutely need fast fire weapons to fight off bigger foes, more people later. So I'm having one last ditch attempt to get it back. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. Oh, never mind. That's a shame. That's a bloody diable. Those things are deadly. Can we please rescue him? I don't know where the other guy got to. Oh, he's there. Let's get him. So rather than trying to just run off the map, he's elected to try and dig his way through a mountain, which is quite commendable in a lot of ways. That's quite ambitious. I like it, but I should definitely be much more conservative there. I really thought I had them. That's the thing about the medieval retainers. Like, I underestimate them every time. Their armor is capable of taking quite a lot of sharp damage. So, I mean, obviously things like bullets, actually, they do quite well at deflecting and sort of sorting out. I want to make sure that no one is going to die. I'm conscious of the fact there's a fire burning all my crops down, but I don't think it will spread. We're having lost the G36. I'm a bit annoyed about that, but I don't think it will be a big problem. I think we'll do okay. I don't really understand what this person is doing. I'm not going to close to actually melee them, because then they will fight back. Yeah, that was weird. That was really, really weird, actually. Yeah, I don't get why she did that. But, I mean, obviously it's a bit more food for us and some armor and stuff, so that's good. Eckhart having lost her leg, that's going to be tricky, because she'll move slower. We'll make a peg leg for her. I think I can do that off here. Or maybe not. But she can't move until she has until she obviously has something to support her weight. She can't get up, and we've lost the G36. So that's the first raid, which I would say hasn't gone particularly well. But I'd still say that in the grand scheme of things, provided we all survive, getting another colonist in Riesling is probably going to be better in the long term, because she has got some really good equipment as well. I think the Warlord's Plate offers some great, some really, really strong protection, and also it gives her social chat. So that's good. We also got some food and some other equipment as well. So the G36 will have to go by, as will Eckhart's leg, but you know, that's the way that things will work in this series. We'll just be constantly trying to cope with stuff. I'm conscious of the fact that they managed to flank us from here, and they also had cover to shoot us from. We're going to have to deal with that, because that's not going to pass, really. If I build a steel, that's a sculptor's table. I've done that so many times in the past. What I want is a stone cutter's table, so I can cut some to make stone blocks from chunks, and then in which case then I can start to build proper defences in the form of walls and embrasures and stuff like that. I'll get Fab to equip the Mozan for now. I don't know who is the better shot. It doesn't really matter. We've lost a gun anyway, so we just need it equipped. But as I say, we have got more weapons. The battle axe is always there. It's a pretty hefty weapon. There's a 5% hit chance further on in addition to that. So I'll have to try and clear out this section here and all these chunks, because I suspect that we'll use them as cover. The solar panels will probably be in the firing line as well. So what I imagine in the long term is I will try to build a wall that surrounds, like for example, out to here and out to here, if I can. So I can enclose this area, and that would be like a salient into the mountain. And I will have hopefully slightly more embouchures here. May even replace this line as like a second line of defense. You can see I've tried it already, so I have two here. So when they come in, they will have to. We have an opportunity to retreat and just to shoot them, which I should have done. But of course, what happened was then they elected to steal something, and I got obsessed by it. And rah, rah, rah. It's fine. It's going fine. Uh, I hope I don't want to come across annoyed about losing it. I'm not. I seem to get frustrated with YouTubers that actually get frustrated with losing. I'm more than willing to accept that this series will likely go down in defeat, and it'll be fun. So we're just mining out a few more components. It'd be quite nice to get these coolers completed, because at the moment they're just sort of open holes into our base, and once we can just sort of regulate the temperature inside a little bit. I think in winter, what's the date? 11th of summer. Did I? Yes, I did. I did spring a raid for the beginning of spring. I've just remembered for the beginning of summer. I remember now. We had a twisted come and attack us. So it'd be quite nice if we could just get these mined out. I can build turrets, I think. I do have the ability to build that already. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, it's going to be a bit tricky then, knowing what to do. Well, stone cutting is probably quite important, but we need wood for it as well. We need to find some wood somewhere. There's a bit of wood down here. And there's a few ship chunks that we can disassemble as well to get more steel. And if I wanted to, I know where I could deconstruct some of these structures, the crystal structure and stuff. But I think at the moment, don't really want to have to rely on that. These structures could always be used by us as well in the future, the longer they're there. And they don't really take away from anything by keeping them, so we'll just leave them for now. Yes, so we're doing okay. I might strip this person. I know they get. Let's just see if we can get what armor. Oh, yes. See, look. This is why they survive quite a lot, because they've got a padded jacket here, which takes a lot of hits for just an item of clothing. And we've also got some steel plates as well, which are the quite basic tier 1 medieval stuff. But I mean, obviously they are armor, and at the moment none of my people are wearing armor. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about Urquhart's leg. I thought I could make I know there's a simple prosthetics bench, but I need quite a lot of resources for it. Yes, though, I mean, but I think we're going to have to, because if I don't, then Urquhart is just literally a mouth to feed. I will strip, and we'll get someone to wear the padded armor as well, because that's going to offer them some more protection, and obviously in this instance protection is ultimately the most important thing. I sound like I'm totally talking about something else. Not that type of protection. Although that is important in some instances, kids, do remember. But yeah, no, that's not what I meant. So Riesling is sleeping outside because I haven't allocated a sleeping spot for them. I'd like to get I would like to get beds set up. Don't worry, I'm not going to ignore the fact that my colonists live in utter squalor. I don't care about it so much at this point, but it's not going to be my intention to keep it like this. Like, I do want to have a proper colony with beds and tables and art and stuff like that later on. But it's less important than in the normal game, because of course I'm playing without the mood. I don't know what people think about that. I'm sure, to be honest, you'll just think I'm wimping out. Which is true, I'm totally wimping out. I completely 100% am wimping out. I just don't enjoy it. I really, as I said before, I don't enjoy playing with the mute system. I think it's always more fun just to either get a crazy colony with lots of people and lots of attacks and to fight that way than to worry about petty stuff. I think the mood system just needs some work, to be honest. It's not totally it doesn't serve no purpose. I do think it does serve a purpose, and I think Rimworld should look to have a mood system. But I think as long as you always have the option to disable it for those who don't enjoy it, I think that's quite important as well. I still think it's quite interesting why people are electing to eat raw meat as opposed to eat meals. And I think that must be because the quality of the meals is just so poor. I can even start to cook some fine meals, which we need a cooking of skill of 8 to do, so no, for now. But I mean, obviously we've got food in the store, so provided that we have got food there, that's not that important. God, they just ate raw potatoes. Does anyone try to eat a raw potato? No, is the answer to that, because you wouldn't. So yeah, the kind of suffering that my colonists are going through right now is going to be brilliant, because that's going to be exactly what makes us form a cult. I need some steel, guys. Come on, work faster, work harder. If I only had another colonist, or a leg as well. How funny. I can't believe I died. I can't believe I died in the first episode. I didn't even make it to. Oh, I think I did briefly. I think I was still alive in the second episode, but I don't think that really counts, to be honest. Um, I don't want to give Cranley. I know Cranley doesn't fight. I mean, I know I've given her a personal shield. I don't know if it's worth giving her armor as well. I don't think it is, because I mean, I never want her to be in combat. So the only reason I've given her a shield is just in case she gets caught out in the open and she has to get back to the colony. Then she has got a bit of protection, but I never want her to. And I just like I did last time, like I ran her out to get the other colonist who was on the floor, because I knew that the arrows would be held up by the shield. Maybe I will. Well, maybe I will. It seems no real purpose, does it? Everyone else has got armor. Urquhart, I suppose, could wear it, but I think until we've got her leg back, there's no real. She's just going to lie in a bed. So yes, there we go. The research bench is up, so we can start to do some research now. First research. Now, I haven't actually thought about this. Turrets, if I go down microelectronics, would be quite important. That gives us unlocks a lot of the normal stuff, so things like gun turrets. Would require some work. I don't know if there's anything that we might want to do first. Agriculture 1 would give us some more plants to grow, which might grow in hotter temperatures. But at the moment, I think we're okay on that. Concrete production, we won't have the resources to do because it requires industry. Other than that, we're looking at sort of just machining, fabric augmentation. This is all quite late stuff, I'd say. Not a priority at the moment. Basic fuses, that's quite nice, but I don't think it's really a priority at the moment. Or do I go for a cult? Do I start straight out with the insanity? Oh no, because I need the altar first. So I have to do... basically, I'll do macroelectronic basics because I will need those turrets at some point. Not looking too heavily to rely on auto turrets, to be honest. If I do rely on turrets, I hope they will be manned ones, but I will be using auto turrets as well, just to advise you. So if that's the kind of thing that doesn't like you, that you don't like, then you've been warned. So I was going to work the other day, and my car wouldn't let me in. It was really weird. Like literally, it just wouldn't work. So the radio key, I think the radio part of my key hasn't worked for a really long time, so I've been physically unlocking it at the door like people used to in the old days. And basically it just wouldn't open. Like you turn the key and it would just do nothing. So I was stuck in my house for trying to get into my car, and I had to get the AA out to come and break in for me eventually. And it was totally like, oh well, what? There's your problem, like kind of thing. It's like he like took something out like part of the inner lining. That's not a word. That's not a car word. I don't know. I know nothing about cars. Um, and it's like the cable or something, which literally connected like the tumbler to the door, or like connected the door, the lock to the door, had like snapped. So I think I just have this suspicion that I must have opened my car with a lot of vigor at some point, and basically it's broken. So yeah, well done, Charles. Now this is nothing I can afford to trade again. The only thing I can probably do, which is perhaps worth it, is selling some of the stuff I don't want. Steel-plated head wrap I will keep because I will definitely use it. I don't want these shoddy trousers though. No, no, no. Oh, I'll keep the padded jacket for now. I won't want the pipe rifle or the bow, and I can't afford to buy anything worth buying apart from perhaps medicine. But I can only buy the one. Oh no, I can buy some. I'll buy the medicine off them. I'll set the defaults though to be different, so that colonists only get herbal or worse enemies. Yeah, so that's I'm quite happy with that actually. So the medicine will be there for emergency situations, basically when people are dying. I'll make them wear it. What's Fab wearing under her shirt and tie? No, I'd rather you wear the padded. Oh, you are got a padded jacket on. Oh, that's all right then. So we're doing okay clothes wise. I'm not going to try and take these colonists on. These three guests. I don't know what they are equipped with, but SMG and a high grade shiv. Yeah, that's rubbish. That's not worth its weight in anything. The shiv isn't probably not worth its weight. I did see there were some really cool weapons here. Promethean Scattershot, I think, is a Halo weapon. I've got the Halo weapons involved. There are no Halo factions, unfortunately, but it'd be quite cool to fight the Covenant, I thought, or maybe the Brutes or something like that. They've also got an Assault Carbine, which looks like a really good weapon, actually. It's accurate at medium to short distance, quite accurate at long distance. Does 8 damage, but shot burst of 4 and a warm up of 8. That's a lot. The scatter shot I think is a shotgun. Again, that's also worth quite a lot of money and is also quite good, but I can't afford either of those things. But I just to let you know, there is obviously a progression in terms of weapons. When you've got so many mods enabled, uh, you can definitely prioritize better ones, and it will always scale up. So dependent on what weapons you have got, I can assure you there are better ones, and I will never reach the best weapons. From my experience, though, Halo weapons are really good. I ended up with some UNSC like assault rifles and stuff in my practice playthrough, my test game. I've called it. It's a lot of good words here. I played a game and I got an assault rifle. The assault rifle is ridiculously accurate, I found. Um, so I mean, anything to long to medium to short range, it would be fantastic. Like it would just be like at least 80 to 90% accurate. It fired loads of shots per burst, so that percentage chance affects each shot, I believe. Um, so it was putting out a really high rate of fire, and it was also really accurate. So basically, if you imagine like the Mosan that I've got at the moment being accurate all the time, like at long, medium, and short range, and firing more shots, like that, you could just see like that's something which is really dangerous to deal with. Rising hasn't got a hat, so I'll put the armor plating hat on. I think she didn't have a hat, did she? No, she didn't. Yeah, so we'll get her to wear the hat just so she's got a bit more protection on the old noggin. And then yeah, so we're doing all right. We're doing good, guys. I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. I feel like I have made some mistakes so far, but you know what? Well, nothing catastrophic, and actually they've all been quite enjoyable. I think this is all part of the flavour, isn't it? I need warm clothes, apparently. Outdoor temperature is going to reach -7. I haven't really considered that even though I did say originally that the temperature in the desert was going to be a really big deal. Yes, so yes, I should have thought about that. I think at the moment we'll just have to survive. We'll just have to see how it goes. I'm not going to be able to afford to build heaters or fires because I literally don't have the resources. So we'll make do. If I can make coats, I think from here, winter coats, I think I can make, or cloaks. Yes, so we should be okay. It provided I've got enough, I can always do some hunting to perhaps get a bit more leather and stuff. So we should be fine. I'm hoping the X-Cat is going to come and eat one of these people again, so I can perhaps get their awesome weapons. Um, I feel like the traders, not the trade convoys, which are usually quite well protected, but the individual traders like this, just as in visitors, are always quite poorly defended, and you can either ambush them yourselves. Well, I say ambush, I just mean attack, really. or you can get something to attack them for you, which is my preferred way of doing it. So I used to quite often do things like anger. I don't think there are tigers in the game, but like there are a lot of wolves and like bears and things. So if you can anger them and they can attack the people you want them to, then you can get their stuff. But that sort of happened in the first instance because I wouldn't have ended up with half this stuff had that trader not died. Um, we're going to do some stone cutting. Any stone blocks, don't really care about where they come from. We'll do it forever. Um, crafting skill isn't really a consideration at this point either. But obviously I would like to limit it to somewhere close by. Oh, bugger it. Bugger it, being I've just realised how basically British that makes me sound. Yeah, so I'll limit it to things that are outside of that prime stockpile there, because obviously that's part of our defence. So I'll set up a less important stockpile in here, or say with like just 4 chunks, which will be low priority for nothing but stone chunks. And then of course they should just do that. But having got some stone chunks, we can use those in wool. They're quite strong. I think we're using granite or marble. Marble's even stronger than granite. It's the strongest stone in the game, I think. So that works out in our favour actually, if I seem to recall. But yeah, but any rock is strong though, obviously. But I think they're stronger than steel. But things like doors and stuff open slower, so hopefully I can still use steel for those. But once we've got some blocks going, then I mean, if nothing, it's practicing crafting. So we're getting the crafting skill up on Carolee. I don't like that name. I mean, please do rename my people. Riesling I quite like, and Urquhart I quite like as names. Fab is just fabulous. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I just said, like, literally a minute ago, oh, wouldn't it be funny if someone... Oh. Now, the only unfortunate thing about this is, in my experience, you get blamed for it. So the tribe, their tribe chief, will blame you for the fact that this happens. In fact, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now. Like, Riesling, go over here, shoot the cat. I want that assault rifle. Go Manhunter, go Manhunter. Do it. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I've done that a lot, an awful lot of times. Who says it's gamey? It's good tactics. Renee is not going to survive. If she does, she's done it. Oh no. Yeah, they were awfully disappointed by their stay. Well, I think actually they've got a better score than the first lot who got minus 100. Oh, wow. Oh, this is interesting. Whitman, can you do anything? Right, okay, I will actually have to kill the cat now. Now I'm aware of that. I can't just let it live, unfortunately. Yeah, I know Urquhart can't. But so what we've got an assault rifle, and we've got a scatter shot, which I think is a shotgun. So it's probably not the most helpful weapon here. I do prefer to engage my targets at range. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So the chief normally says, "Oh, you know, I blame you for it." But in my experience, they do that irrespective of whether you attack them or a animal attacks them. But of course, the score is better if it's like something else that killed them as opposed to you. I don't know. Oh my god, I've completely forgot about you. 100% run. I mean, you're my least favorite colonist, but run. Oh my god. Oh god, I fucked up. I fucked up. Oh, she might be alright. Oh, she's fine. She's only had her finger torn off. Don't even need that. Doesn't even fight. She's just going to cut stone blocks the whole time. Unfortunately, we get -5 for each one. So if we do ever intend on recruiting anyone by friendly means, that's not going to happen. I wish I thought that Carolee was inside. I really did. I've realised I've cocked up quite a lot. That's fine. That's going to happen a lot. I would like you to capture Whitman, please, if you can. And also, someone, if you could please make a peg leg, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's just wood. 50 wood. Have I got 50 wood? No, I haven't got anywhere near 50 wood. Can I do it with anything else? It does have to be wood. Oh, God. How about I can't do anything else. It has to be a wooden... Oh, that's bugger. That's bad. So what have we got here? So Riesling, I think you're my best shot. I'm not going to make the mistake of letting the cat get up again, actually, whilst I'm here. I'm going to go there and kill it. Oh, that's my alarm going off. So yes, thank you everyone. Again, some more drama. We've screwed over some friendlies or some traders, and we're going to steal their stuff. We're going to eat. They're going to capture Whitman. That's going to be something I do, which was I remember I will do now. Cranley got her finger torn off. I completely forgot about her, but who really cares? Yeah. Well, yes. I'll see you in the next half. I'm really enjoying this. I really hope that you are getting something out of it as well. If you do have any comments or want to like the video, just please do so. And I will see you all in the next half. Thank you. I'm Big G. Goodbye.